Imagine working 15 years at a company, giving it everything, only to have a brand new CEO humiliate you in front of 19 executives by flashing your salary on a giant screen and calling you overpaid. He laughed. They stared. I wanted to disappear. But instead, I planned something he'd never forget. Hi, everyone. This story isn't easy for me to tell, because even after everything, part of me still can't believe how public humiliation can turn into sweet revenge. My name's Daniel Pierce. I'm 38 years old, and for the last decade and a half, I worked as a senior operations analyst at a global logistics company called Transway Systems. I wasn't rich, but I worked my way up from nothing. Nights, weekends, missed birthdays, all of it. My coworkers respected me, upper management trusted me, and for years, the CEO, Mr. Grant Wilson, called me his best numbers guy. But everything changed when he retired, and the board brought in someone new, Evan Carlisle. Evan was one of those modern efficiency types, MBA from Stanford, big smile, expensive watch, and zero understanding of the people who actually make a company run. Within his first month, Evan laid off over 30 employees. His words were trimming the fat. Morale dropped fast. Meetings became tense. People started whispering about who'd be next. Then one morning, I got an email titled, "Mandatory Executive Meeting, 10 a.m. sharp." No context, no agenda, just a summons. When I walked into the boardroom, 19 executives sat around the long glass table. A projector screen glowed at the front. Evan stood there in his spotless suit, grinning. "Morning, everyone. Today's about transparency and about understanding where inefficiency hides." He clicked the remote, and suddenly, my name appeared on the screen. Daniel Pierce, Senior Operations Analyst. Annual compensation, $137,000. My stomach dropped. He smirked, pacing slowly. $137,000. For this? He gestured toward one of my recent projects, deliberately taken out of context to make the numbers look weak. The room was silent. I could hear my own heartbeat. Daniel here has been with us for 15 years. Impressive loyalty, but maybe a little too comfortable. A few people glanced at me awkwardly. One even coughed just to break the tension. He pointed at me. "Tell us, Daniel, do you think you're worth that number?" My throat tightened. "Sir, the savings projections," he cut me off. "I didn't ask for excuses. I ask if you think you're worth it." I froze. Everyone stared. He smirked again, tapped the remote, and said, "Next slide." And just like that, my salary was replaced by a chart comparing me to a junior analyst making half my pay. That was it. I sat there humiliated. 15 years of service reduced to a public display of numbers. After the meeting, I went to HR. They shrugged. The CEO has the right to discuss compensation at executive discretion. When I got home that night, my wife Lena saw my face and asked what happened. I told her everything. She said quietly, "Then don't let him win. You know that company better than anyone. You built systems they don't even understand. Make him regret ever trying to shame you." That's when something clicked. For years, I'd built the company's cost analysis systems, algorithms, data pipelines, the entire framework behind their financial dashboards. Without me, none of it worked properly. And Evan, he didn't even know how it worked. So I started planning. I didn't want to do anything illegal. I'm not stupid. But there's a difference between breaking the law and letting someone else feel the consequences of their arrogance. First, I quietly stopped cleaning up his messes. Evan had been rushing efficiency projects that looked great on paper, but were financially disastrous. Normally, I'd catch them, fix them before they hit the reports. But not anymore. I let them run. Every month, his cost savings showed millions saved, but cash flow started to crumble behind the scenes. Then I began documenting everything. Emails, memos, meeting notes. Every time he pushed for a shortcut or approved a fake saving, I archived it. Next, I reached out to Sonia, a senior auditor from the parent company. We'd worked together before, and she respected me. "Can you do me a favor?" I said over coffee. "Run a parallel audit on Evan's last 3 projects, quietly." She raised an eyebrow. "Why?" "Just call it curiosity." A week later, she called me back. "Daniel, he's manipulating figures. If the board sees this, he's done." I smiled for the first time in weeks. Good. Let's make sure they do. The quarterly board meeting arrived. Evan strutted into the conference room, confident as ever. I sat in the back, silent. He began his slideshow, bragging about record savings and new operational efficiency. Halfway through, Sonia walked in, unannounced. "Sorry to interrupt," she said, holding a folder. "Corporate requested a surprise audit review." Evan's smile faltered. "An audit?" She nodded and handed copies to the board. "According to my findings, these savings are entirely fabricated. In fact, the company lost $2.3 million this quarter due to unverified data manipulations." The room erupted. "What? That's impossible," Evan barked. "These reports come from—" Sonia interrupted. "From Daniel Pierce's old system, which you modified without proper oversight." All eyes turned to me. I stood slowly, my voice calm. "I tried to warn him multiple times. He dismissed me, said I was overpaid and replaceable." Silence. The chairman looked furious. "Evan, is this true?" Evan stammered, It's a misunderstanding." But the damage was done. Within an hour, HR escorted him out of the building. That same afternoon, I got a call from corporate. "Daniel, we'd like to apologize for how you were treated. The board voted unanimously to reinstate your authority and promote you to Director of Operations." I smiled. "Thank you. I'll make sure we never mistake loyalty for inefficiency again."
It's been 2 years since that day. Evan tried to sue the company for wrongful termination, but the audit reports crushed his case. The funniest part? He now runs a tiny consulting firm, and one of his clients is us. Sometimes karma doesn't knock. It walks right through the door, wearing a name tag that says Director of Operations.